Less than a week after the first 3 supply drop guns were added to Modern Warfare Remastered, even more content has now been leaked from the PC files of the game. Let's get right into it. I'm the new 3 and Yo, what's up guys, me Brady here, and today I've got some crazy news regarding more leaked content in Modern Warfare Remastered from the PC files. So, with some of the community still having to wrap their heads around getting the MWR assault rifle, Camp Shotgun 12 shotgun, and the 44 Magnum added to the game in the latest patch, those same people that brought us those leaks have already found more content that may be coming to the game very soon. And based off their previous findings with the 3 new guns, they've already got 100% when it comes to leaking things that actually show up in the game files. Also guys, keep in mind I cannot show any images or videos of the leaked content, since that will cause me to get this video taken down. So for all the leaked footage and photos that I'll be talking about in this video, I will have links in the description to them specifically. They're Reddit posts, you guys can just go on there and then click the links that you want, whether you want to view an image or footage for what I'm talking about in the video. So any further delay guys, let's jump right into the leaked content. So starting off with the less exciting part of the news, which I'm going to try and get through relatively quickly to get to the main chunk of the video, and that is that there are attachments that were found in the PC files that from previous Call of Duty games and were now found in the files of Modern Warfare Remastered. So the first leaked attachment, and my personal favorite of the bunch that was leaked, is the dual wield or akimbo attachment, which allows users to have their selected weapon of choice, which is when it is equipped, like the perk or the attachment. It's been a perk in a couple of games, but at this from these leaks it looks like it's going to be an attachment. So when they have this equipped for the selected weapon, then instead of just having it in one hand, you can have 2 of them. So basically, for example, you can have 2 Desert Eagles, 2 44 Magnums, or something like that. In previous games you've actually been able to have like submachine guns, so I'm not sure if that will make its way also into this game as well. Next up, we have the long barrel attachment, which I'm afraid will make the Camp Shotgun 12 an absolute monster on small maps like Shipment or Bacon. And guys, I'm going to be moving through the rest of these perks relatively quickly, so like I said earlier, so I can get to the main chunk of the video. The third attachment that was leaked is extended mags, which will be useful for some weapons, but I don't think it will be good for all of them. After that, we have the thermal scope, which personally I've hated that. I've always thought it to be the most annoying scope in, honestly, the Call of Duty franchise. After that, we have the heartbeat sensor, which I don't think will be all that popular, but I know some people do like to use it. Another scope possibly making its way into the game is the variable zoom scope, which, much like the heartbeat sensor, will be popular with some, but not all, just because of how it will only be useful on a handful of maps in my opinion. Nearing the end of this list, now we have the tactical knife, which may be a really fun attachment to mess around with certain pistol setups, so let's see how that turns out when it comes into Modern Warfare Remastered soon. And lastly, we have the holographic sight, which was also leaked in PC files of Modern Warfare Remastered. With all these attachments being leaked, in my mind I don't think any of them will be unlocked through supply drops, since they don't provide a significant advantage in a gunfight the same way that an actual gun does. So with the announcement of these new attachments being found in the PC files, I would expect them to be unlocked or dropped for everyone, whether it's at a certain level, like how you used to be able to unlock attachments for guns, or with actually getting a certain amount of kills with how it is actually in the game, or they're just going to give them to everyone all at once, like basically kind of like, here they are, it's almost like a gift basically. They just give them to everyone at the exact same time, and obviously they'll be used for each specific weapon, since I don't think you'll be able to use all of them on every single gun. Like for example, I don't think you could really equip a heartbeat sensor on a pistol, because I think that would just be absolutely stupid. Now moving on to the much more exciting part of the leaked content in my opinion, we have more leaked weapons along with an animation for a leaked attachment. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm not able to showcase any of the leaked footage in this video, but there will be links to it down below if you guys want to check it out yourselves. So starting off, we have an animation for the 44 Magnum pistol, and this animation leak basically solidifies the fact that the new attachments will be making their way into Modern Warfare Remastered very soon, or at least the akimbo one will be. And this is a really neat animation where basically As you guys are seeing in the footage on screen, this is the current animation for the 44 Magnum. So basically you just spin it on your finger, but instead what you're able to do is actually spin it on both of your hands, and I'm assuming that this animation will be similar for all the other pistols, and I can't wait to use things like the 44 Magnum or the Desert Eagle when the akimbo attachment actually comes out. Now moving on to the other leaked information surrounding guns in Modern Warfare Remastered, and that is there are 2 new guns that have been found in the PC files of the game. Those 2 guns include the PKM light machine gun as well as the DMR-25 sniper rifle. Starting off with the PKM light machine gun, what we have so far for it is an image and a reload animation for the gun. But sadly, neither of them have textures on them, but we can still depict what the gun still looks like. And if you guys remember when the Kamchatka 12 was leaked, this was a very similar situation, how we didn't have any kind of textures on the gun, so we weren't sure exactly what the gun looked like, whether like the color and the finish on the gun, but we still knew like roughly what it looked like. And the reload animation for the PKM is very similar to that of the M249 SAW LMG in Modern Warfare Remastered. Now the appearance of it is similar to all of the guns, and first off, the iron sights are almost identical to the RPD LMG. Now moving on to the barrel of the gun, it looks a lot like the M60E4, but then the main body of the gun looks very similar to that of the M249 SAW. From all the images and footage that I've seen of the new LMG, it for sure has similarities to all of the current LMGs in the game right now. Also, here are some images of the gun in real life. It is a Russian LMG if you guys are wondering, and the in-game files without texture look almost identical to that of the images. Now moving on to the second leaked gun that were in the PC files of the game, and that is the DMR-25 sniper rifle. From the images and footage I've seen of this gun in-game, it does have the textures, but it doesn't have any scope on top, so it's to be assumed that the gun will have iron sights stock with the gun when you first unlock it. But those iron sights are unable to be seen in either the image or the reload animation for this gun. Unlike the PKM, the DRM-25 does not have a gun that is similar to it in Modern Warfare Remastered, but it does look like a slight mix of the G3 assault rifle if the stock was a bit beefier or bigger, along with a bit of similar aspects to the M21 sniper rifle. But when it comes to the animation, it is not identical to really any gun in the game, but if I had to compare it to one, it would be that of the M21 sniper rifle. Although the gun does not compare to one, specifically in Modern Warfare Remastered, it does remind me a lot of the MR28 from Call of Duty Ghosts. That was in the marksman rifle category of guns, and the only difference between the MR28 and DMR-25 is that the actual gun itself is black instead of this like tan-ish color that it has in the image on screen right now. And moving on to the real images of the gun, sadly the gun isn't actually based off of one single gun in real life, yet is like the XMLAR, how it is a prototype weapon based off of a handful of guns. The image on screen right now was the most similar gun I could find to the DMR-25, but obviously without a scope. Out of the 2 guns that were leaked, being the PKM and the DMR-25, I do think that the DMR-25 is going to be a lot more popular, and just for the simple fact that there's a much bigger sniper community in the Call of Duty like series and franchise, at least over the years that I've noticed, than a light machine gun one. Also, I feel like adding a sniper rifle is always going to be a lot more significant than a light machine gun, because I feel like people really only use light machine guns when they're going for like the Regals to get the like exclusion zone, like in Modern Warfare Remastered right now. So that's why I think a lot of people will be leaning towards wanting to get the sniper rifle instead of the light machine gun. With these 2 guns now being leaked in the game files of Modern Warfare Remastered, alongside the attachments, it's quite obvious that the 2 guns would definitely be in supply drops over the attachments, and that's simply because a lot of people I think would rather have guns than attachments. I know I personally would, and because of that, Activision and Raven Software know to put the things that people want a lot more into the supply drops, so then they can actually make money off of that. Also, I expect all of this content, that includes like the guns and the attachments, to be dropping in the next 2 months alongside a ton of other smaller supply drop items into a new operation for the depot. So basically, instead of adding them to the Arctic Wolf operation, they're going to make up a new one, whether they call it like Snowy Owl or something like that. They just make a new one because they have, with the latest patch, they did add a a camo once you unlock every single collection in Operation Arctic Wolf. You get this like special camo that only you can get when doing that. So I don't think that they're gonna add any new collections to Operation Arctic Wolf. I think Operation Arctic Wolf has now like come to an end, and they're gonna start including new operations. Because if they were to add in new collections to Operation Arctic Wolf, then it would be unfair to those guys that are like a few collections away, and then this patch is dropped or an update is dropped with the new collections, and then they either like lose the camo, or it's unfair to those who are close to it, who then have to unlock the extra ones to get it, when people who only had to get 64 already have it, opposed to maybe like, I don't know, 70 or 75. Honestly, I don't see the addition of new guns or attachments to the game to be an awful thing, since it does add quite a bit to the game, like in terms of variety, for those guys who've been playing the game for over 10 years now, since its release in 2007, being Call of Duty 4, since it is pretty much just a game with better graphics, and obviously now supply drops and new weapons and things like that, but it is still like the same game with almost the same guns and all of the same maps. So seeing new content like this is definitely good, to keep the game more exciting, because a YouTuber in specific that I'm going to be referencing is Nero Cinema. In one of his videos about like supply drops, he said it is not a bad thing to see them adding new things to the game, because he's been playing this game since 2007 and he's played the crap out of it. If you guys know him, he's got some crazy stats in Call of Duty 4 and obviously in Modern Warfare Remastered. So he knows the game in and out, and like for someone like that having to hop onto Modern Warfare Remastered because they don't want to play Infinite Warfare, yes, that's better than playing IW, but at the same time, like they've played it before, so seeing new content like this, I don't think is an awful thing. I definitely think it's gonna add a lot to the game, and like I said, add a lot of variety to it for those who've been playing the game for a long time, or just add new things for someone like me who's never played COD 4. It's just gonna make the game that much more exciting. So guys, with all that being said, let me know your opinions on it down below, as I would like to know how other people are responding to all of this leaked content. Also, drop some feedback in the comments for this video so I can improve on future videos to make them just that much better. Also, dropping a like on the video helps out a lot, and it's free. Also, subscribing is free, so I highly recommend you guys do that too. That's it for today's video, guys. Peace.